Hey guys, I'm not sure how long this video is going to be because I'm tired and I'm getting ready to go to bed, but I just thought I'd hop on here real quick because it's been a long day. My church right now is doing prayer and fasting, and I'm helping with it this week, and I got home from doing that and I just realized how different life is compared to when it was even just 10 years ago. And everybody that knows me, again, they know I'm very close to my grandparents on my mom's side. And what makes me the saddest when I think about things is, and if you're seeing green, sorry, I've got a starlight that I turn on when I go to bed at night. And so it has like a green laser. So you may see some green flashing in my screen, and I'm sorry in advance. But anyway, everybody that knows me knows I'm very close to my grandparents. And I have one grandfather left, and it's the one I've been telling you guys about that's going through cancer, and things are just so different. Like, I remember a lot of good times, a lot of good memories I've had with them, and how life used to be. Like, they went from staying up till 1 a.m. playing poker on their computer and staying up late with me to now going to bed at like 9:30, sometimes 10:30, and not really getting out much. And we used to do everything together. And just in the last couple of years, things have changed. And, my grandfather is really struggling with this, awful disease that I know there's a cure for, that they're never going to disclose because the chemo companies lose too much money, but that's besides the point. I'm just bitter about that, and I'm trying not to be, and I'm trying to pray, and have faith in God that things are going to work out the way that He wants them to, whether I like the outcome or don't. I'm just at that age, and these are the times that I thought would just not happen for a long time. Like, I thought I would have them forever, like I still think about my parents that way, and I try to put the idea of death out of my mind, as hard as it is to, talk about, and as much of a reality of life that it is. It's hard for me to, think about, and I try to not think about it sometimes because it makes me so overwhelmingly sad. You know, Basically what I'm trying to say is, if you're in a point in your life, if you're watching this and you have grandparents right now that you do a lot with and you spend a lot of time with, and they're active and healthy, and you guys go places and you get treats and play games with each other, like board games and card games like I used to do, relish in those moments and appreciate them while you have them. Because when things happen like they are for me right now, it happens faster than you want it to happen. And I feel like in a way I took a lot of things for granted. I mean, we would play games all the time. I would bring a card game or a board game over, and we would sit and play. And up until a couple of years ago, we had to stop because my grandfather is in so much pain, he can barely sit up at the table to eat dinner. And it never used to be this way. And I'm having a hard time with it, It makes me emotional thinking about it because, when he's gone, I don't have any grandfathers left. Like, my mom's actual dad passed away in 2015, and that was over 10 years ago. And I'm going to blink, and it's going to be over 10 years from now. And, I just feel like time is just going by quicker than I want it to. And, I worry about what's going to happen with my grandmother when he actually does pass. And, I'm just having a really hard time with this. And I'm trying to pray and trust God with it, and trying to be strong. And, I haven't seen my grandparents since Christmas. And, I can't visit them as often as I used to because I'm around people a lot because of my job, and I try to not bring in any germs because I don't want to get either one of them sick. And, like I've said in a previous video, Christmas was kind of rough, and so I'm a little timid on going back, but I know I need to because I know my days and my visits are numbered with my grandfather. And I don't know what the future holds after all of that. I don't know. I'm worried about the aftermath and like just all the things that come with a loved one passing away, because I know what happened when my mom's dad passed and all of that. And what makes me even sadder, and I've probably said this in a previous video before, is the fact that my mom, when my grandfather passed away, her dad, she had me, my brother, and her husband and her siblings to lean on. And while I have, a brother and parents and a whole family that loves me, it still just reminds me of the fact that I don't have a family that I come home to. I have a quiet house and I don't have anybody to walk me through this chapter of grief when it's quiet on my family's side, and I can't immediately have them for support. And it just sucks, and it reminds me of just being alone. And I don't really know where I'm going with this. I just thought I would share my thoughts and be vulnerable with you guys. It's not easy to get on here and cry and talk about difficult topics, let alone look like this with no makeup or anything like that. I'm getting ready to go to bed. I just got out of the shower and I just don't look like I normally do, and I'm probably not always going to look like I normally do in some of my videos. All I gotta say is, if you're in a chapter where you have grandparents that are not sick and are active and able to do all these things with you and you're really close with them, just very much appreciate it, because it will go quickly when it goes. And life is never going to look the same for me and my grandparents as long as they are still here. Just because of the lifestyle that they're in and the chapter that they're in. Like, my grandmother has beat cancer twice. She had bladder cancer when I was really young, and then she had colon cancer, and she wasn't expected to live through the colon cancer and did, and beat it. And she's not the same as she used to be. Like, for example, she can't go out in public for long periods like an average person could, like you or I could. She also doesn't drive a whole lot. My grandfather drives when they go places, and they do things together all the time, and they've been together a long time. And so I worry about what's going to happen to her. What sucks about all of that is, like, there is a medical condition called broken heart syndrome, and people can die from it without even realizing they have it. And sometimes it comes without symptoms, and sometimes when you go through such traumas, it can cause things like that to happen to your body, and it's very scary, and I don't want that to happen to her. I'm trying my best to, also I'm working with God on letting go and forgiving, some of the past conversations we've had recently, because I've done some research, and I know that it has to do with anticipatory grief, if I can talk, and I have the same problem. I think all of us as a family are. We're going through anticipatory grief and we don't really know how to handle it or what to do with it. And so sometimes it comes out in lashing out in anger at other people, and we say things that hurt other people. And I don't think that she entirely means anything by it. And I'm trying to tell myself that. And I'm also trying to give her grace and forgive her, because I know when all is said and done, she's only going to have me and obviously the rest of the family, but me primarily, because out of all the family members right now, I'm the only one that is capable of at least being able to be with her at night and spend most of my days with her. I rent a home, but I have the freedom to come and go from it, and I can go to her house and take care of her. I don't have anything here tying me down. I have a whole house full of stuff. Obviously, I wouldn't want to cram it all in a storage unit. I'd much rather just keep it all here and have this sanctuary to come to when things do get heated or could get heated with my grandmother, because I know they probably will at some point. Because I think that she's just dealing with, a lot of things about it. She doesn't know how to feel about what's going to happen to him. She is also just dealing with frustration because it's hard to take care of him right now. And it was hard to take care of her for a chapter, and I think she forgets that. It's hard to take care of him because he can't talk. He has no more voice. basically what happened was the cancer started in his lungs, and he and her moved houses, and he was helping remodel the kitchen, and he was trying to get a cabinet out of the kitchen, and he fell backwards and broke his hip. And when you already have cancer in your body, that's trauma. And when you introduce new trauma to that cancer, you're basically telling it to grow. And basically the last year, it has spread everywhere. It's in his throat, it's in his legs, it's in every place you can think of. And, you know, that's why they've marked him as terminal. And, you know, it's hard for me to hear. I know they told me directly because they didn't want my mom to tell me. They wanted to tell me face to face when I visited them before Christmas. And it was a difficult night to get through. I'm not going to lie. You know, so I really wish that they would have stayed put where they were at their house, but I understand also their valid reasons for moving. They had a bunch of septic problems at that house, and, you know, I think that my grandmother likes to move. I mean, she gets restless and bored, and that's just something that she likes to do. I mean, she likes a change of scenery all the time, and where they're living now is basically a few houses down from where they used to live, where I can distinctly remember late nights and poker playing on the computer. And, you know, it just brings up a lot for me. And, you know, with Adam the Woo passing, that doesn't help either. And I still can't bring myself to watch his videos right now. I hear his voice and I see previews on my YouTube feed, but I skip them because I just don't know if I'm ready to watch them. I don't feel strong enough, and I deeply regret not watching his videos as he uploaded them, because it's just one of those things where you think you have all this time, but you really don't with people. And that's it. If Adam taught us anything, it was this. It was that we're not guaranteed tomorrow. And we have to spend what time we have with the people that we love that are in front of us while they're here. And I regret not seeing my grandparents since Christmas, but at the same time, my grandfather's been really sick anyway, and I know personally, if you're that kind of sick, you don't want people over. It's not fun. You would rather them be over when you're not sick like that, and I'm hoping that by this weekend I'll get to see them again. I'm going to call my grandma later this week and follow up on that. Anyway, it's getting late here where I am, and I need to go to bed. I'll probably edit this and upload it tomorrow or maybe later this week. Just be praying for me and thinking about, you know, my family. And if you have, obviously, grandparents that are healthy and alive and alert and sharp and are doing stuff with you, don't take that for granted. Just trust me and don't take it for granted. Appreciate the memories. Take as many pictures and videos as you can, like I have. I know I've got a archive full of memories that I'm at least grateful that I captured. I just feel like I didn't capture enough, and I think you'll always feel that way when a family member or loved one is getting ready to experience the latter part of their life. But anyway, I hope everybody has a blessed week, a blessed first week of 2026, and I'm sorry that my lips look chapped. I'm very well aware that my appearance is not very appealing right now, so please be kind. I know there's some, you know, unkindness going on in this world. If anything, please be kind. I don't really want any drama on my channel, and I'm not here to be bullied or picked on, and please be kind to other people when they comment or if they comment. I really appreciate all of you guys subscribing, and I've got my TV on, and that's probably what you're hearing in the background if you're hearing anything, but I appreciate all of you, and I'll get more content soon. My hope, again, is to still be able to go on my trips and vlog those for you. Again, it just depends on the future of my family and what happens and where we go from there. So, take care, and I will post more soon.